Hi guys, welcome to Advanced Dating Dynamics with McKinley Bird. Today I'm going to talk into how to revamp your social circle, build it from nothing, zero to everything, and in which time frame you'll get it in. So a little brief history about myself. I was once married for about a year. Recently, that did not continue. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm basically going to tell you why that did not continue. And I'm gonna be brutally honest, even with myself. At the end of the day, hypergamy is a real thing, as well as your value, right, is also a real thing. One thing that you want to maintain and sustain is the forward projection of how you grow, your continuation of that, and the consistency in which you build that upon. So first things first, we're going to get into having a basic understanding of how to increase that value. And then once you increase it, how to sustain it. And then when you sustain it, how to share it by building value in others around you. So basically, when you have a rotation and you have a circle, what that is, these are people who which you bring value to, and vice versa, right? Whether that's through time, emotion, or physical communication, physicality, right? It's a value that you bring physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay. Now, the big conception with today is like a lot of people sadly think that your value is determined by money, monetary, right? And in some senses, yes, right? When you're working in a business, when you're working with a company, but this is not the same when it has to do with the relational building. Okay, when it comes to relation building, that is not even a thing. I'll tell you why. I've been with women that have made more money than me. I've been with people that have actually been more established. Like I said, I've been with women that made more money than me, and or if not the same exact amount. So on today's dating age, we're not necessarily seeking, most people aren't seeking a piggy bank. Now, does it help? Of course. But is that the goal? In some people, yes. But the ones that we want to look for, no. And I'll tell you the difference. There's no difference between, say, a prostitute than it is to basically get a girl with the money and monetary things that you have. Now, guess what? Will it stand out? Of course it will. Grab attention? Of course it will. Is that the person at the end of the day that you want? No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. So again, you got a lot of guys these days pushing that doctrine. Basically, it's like get more money and then you'll, of course you will, guys. But at the same time, if that's the only thing that has caught the eye, it's not going to sustain. And I'll tell you why. I used to have friends of mine that worked in some of the fanciest, nicest neighborhoods with the biggest homes, and they just be handyman, handy guys that just come out, fix the stuff, clean up, and the wife in the house, so supposedly, gets with him in spite of the husband making millions. And this dude's making like 15 an hour, but at the end of the day, he's getting it, right? So we're going to talk about, how to really build that real attraction, but also how to sustain integrity, okay, how to sustain masculinity, and then how to conjure up that relationship in the way that you want it, the way that you want to see it. You have to essentially pour into it like a fruit, pour water into it, and then raise it up in the way that you wish to see it go. Okay, if that sounds confusing, I'll break it down a little bit easier next time. Yeah,